question, please raise your hand. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Excited to see everybody here. Our opponent this week, the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils, 2-9 last year with Coach Rosamondo. They have a very veteran football team coming back. You're talking about 8 starters on offense, 8 starters on defense, 16 starters. This is a very dangerous situation for us. I was in a similar situation when I was at Eastern Illinois. We had a team with a lot of experience coming back. We played San Diego State the first year, I believe, in 2013. They were 21 points favorites. We beat them by 21 points in the Charger Stadium, Jack Murphy Stadium. So this is a team that, although on paper some people may think is going to be a game that we should have an easy time, as football coaches and football players, we don't look at it like that. Every time you kick off, anything can happen. People get hurt in our games, and it can change games very quickly. We're taking this opponent very seriously, and hopefully we can come out of it without injuries on both sides, on both teams. Opening it up to questions.
Any questions for Coach? Mark,
hey Coach, how different does it feel going into this opener versus last year when it was your first game?
You know, obviously a lot more comfortable for myself, and I think for the team. The team has a much better feel for the coaches. They have a much better feel for the scheme. They shouldn't be as anxious. They know what we're going to do. They should be able to predict some calls offensively, defensively, in situations, and I think that should bring them a little bit of a calmness, some peace, and hopefully settle them down so we can have a positive performance.
Dino, I was speaking with Zaire earlier, and he told me that last year there were times where he felt the defense was kind of caught between the old scheme and the scheme you were putting in, and you kind of said that last year too, that it was so drastic, the change. Just with training camp going into the first game, how kind of sped up and caught up do you see the defense, maybe just the linebacker unit specifically this year?
Well, I'll tell you what, after that second scrimmage, when they got after us, they took us out to the woodshed. And I say we because I'm sitting there going, I'm part of the offense, I'm part of the defense, I'm the head coach, and I'm sitting there going, wow, this is so one-sided. I was so excited for the defense, and I started going, wow, are we any good on offense or what? But these guys are better. They're better on defense. Coach Ward and the defensive staff did a fantastic job. Now we've got to make that stuff happen in games. We've got to make it happen in 2017. But I think they're much improved. Now they've got to go out in the field and prove it. They've got to be able to back up some of the thoughts I have on them. But I think they're much improved. I really do.
Steven?
We see Mahoney kind of on the 2 line. What went into that decision, and is there a situation in which you could see Tommy playing early this year?
You know, I think the biggest thing about all our quarterbacks is that we're trying to get them all ready. And we've got Rex Culpepper, we got Clayton Welch, we got DeVito, we got Zach. You know, I want to talk about Dungy. Hell, Dungy's a starting quarterback. No one wants to talk about the doggone starting quarterback. I do. You know, I think he's really good. I think he's coming back. I would love to have him for 12 to 15 games, and if we do, I think we're going to all be very excited about him. So I think that we got a lot of people battling at a lot of positions. I think we got a lot of competition, what happens when recruiting starts to improve. And I'm looking forward to see who gets out there and makes a name for themselves.
You know, with Cole Murphy entering his senior year, how does he compare to last year this time?
You know, last year I didn't know much about Cole. Cole has a fantastic record inside the dome. He has some issues when we get outside the dome, there's no doubt about it, but I have a lot of confidence in him. The coolest thing about 2016 and 2017 is it's totally different, and one doesn't relate to the other. So he's got an opportunity to come out in 2017 and make every kick and be all conference. And hopefully, I hope that he does that so he can be all conference. But we're going to have to wait and see. But I think that, especially inside the dome, I think he's an excellent kicker. And I think that there's no reason why that shouldn't continue this year.
Nico?
Coach, just it's almost a cliche question, but I mean, I'm sure it never gets old that first time you're in the tunnel before that season over. What is that emotion like for the coaches and the players before you run out on that field for the first time in any given season?
You know, it's not about the coaches when you come out the tunnel the first time. It's all about the players. You look at their eyes, and it's like your son or your daughter when you know they got a bike underneath the Christmas tree and they hadn't seen it yet, and they're coming out to look at their presents, man. Their eyes are all sparkling. For me, I'm sitting there going, oh, God, we're playing these teams. God, hope we do well. Everybody's going to ask me all these 1,000 questions. Hope we can find a way to get a win. Hope no one gets hurt. But for the players, it's time to hit somebody else in a different color jersey, and it's fun to see that sparkle in their eye.
the secondary this season. How important is he to the defense, and what does he add to the secondary that you kind of missed during those last 10 games last season?
I want to go back to when he got his arm broke. When he broke his arm, I want to say that I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. I want to say that Zaire hit him and broke his arm. And I'm looking at Antoine, and I get him over there, and I said, Antoine. He's like, oh, and he's tearing up a little bit, not believe it or not from the pain, just from not being able to play. And I said, Antoine, it's going to be a blessing. I said, you're going to get an opportunity to be here 2 more years, 2017, 2018. I said, you need to light up. I said, this is going to be unbelievable for you and your career. And I don't want to be selfish, but I'm kind of excited that you're going to be here. And it kind of dawned on him that he's going to get a chance to be around and he's going to get a chance to be better. This may sound crazy. You ask any trainer, any medical doctor, if you get a clean break, it heals back better. Your bone is stronger than it is the first time. So, I mean, from an injury standpoint, that's something he's going to come back from. I'm so fired up that he's back because Antoine Cordy not only makes us better, but he's one of the leaders on our football team. And if everybody plays the game and goes about the game the way Antoine does, we'll be just fine in 2017.
Mario and Brent.
Coach, 4th straight year, SU opening up with an FCS opponent. One of those years, Villanova, you took this team to double overtime. So kind of anything goes in a game like this to start the year?
Once the ball's kicked, you guys saw it, just like the Virginia Tech game last year. Football teams, I watched a little bit of San Jose versus University of South Florida. They get out to a 16-point lead, missed a PAT, had a 4th and 1 where if they get that, they have an opportunity maybe to go up 23-0. Who knows what happens? Now, University of South Florida, same team that beat us last year, is a fantastic team, but you don't know what's going to happen in a football game. They come out, they block a punt, they get it, they return it almost for a touchdown, then they get it in the next play. Football is like that, and I just really believe that's what makes it so exciting, and that's why so many people enjoy the game, is that it's really, really hard to predict because people get hurt in our game, and if you get the right guy hurt on the right team, you can swing a game completely. So, they have a chance just like we have a chance.
Coach, to go back to Eric for a minute here, what would you say?
Go back to who?
Eric Dungy, referred to. What would you say your approach will be with Eric on called running plays this year?
On called running play? He's got to. We're not going. You can't play the game. I don't even say the word. You can't be afraid when you play this game. You have to go out and play. And the Clemson game, we took out all our running plays and said, hey, we don't want Eric to get hurt. We're going to take all these plays and we're going to play these guys. The 14th play of the game, he gets hurt. Okay, just from a happening. Something happened, he does this, boom, he gets hurt. We're not playing like that anymore, okay? We don't have to run the option and run him 55 times in a game. But we're going to call our game, we're going to play. That's what depth is for, that's what recruiting's for. We're going to play to win, and hopefully things will work out. And I think that's more the approach you need to go about it, so more than changing your entire game plan. We're not an option team. You don't have to worry about us running the option. We're trying to get him to throw the football. He's taught to protect himself. Now he needs to go out and play, and good things need to happen.
Coach, other than the obvious winning, what is it that you really want to see in this first game? What will kind of tell you that this team is on track to where you want it to be?
Consistently good. I go back to the San Jose State game. When that game got turned around, the offense was moving the ball. They hit a tight end over the ball right in his hands. He bobbles the ball up. A linebacker catches it for interception. University of South Florida gets a touchdown. They turn around. They run another route. They got a tight end wide open for a touchdown. The tight end drops the pass. They run another. It's all those little mistakes, and then before you know it, the game turned, and University of South Florida took the game over. I want them to be consistently good. That's all I want them to do. And if they get an occasional grade in them, that's great for them and great for the man that made them. But for us, I need everybody to be consistently good, and if we can do that, we'll have a good football team.
Coach, Keelan moves from safety to linebacker this year.
I didn't hear the name. Say it again.
Keelan Whitman.
Okay, thank you.
And that's the position linebacker where you have 3 seniors who are going to play a lot. Does the coaching staff look at it as a challenge to find situations where he can get on the field? I know he'll be backing up, but he's a player who's made plays for Syracuse in the past.
It's not so much we moved him because we think he can help us at that position, and we're only worried about getting our starters on the field. But there's certain guys that we want to get in the game because they can help us win. So, and if he's one of those guys, then we'll get him in the game. I think that move was for him. I think it's a good move for him, and I think he's going to contribute in 2017.
What went into Caton starting at nose tackle?
Same thing. We think he's the best player and he can help us win.
Was that, I guess it seemed like from my perspective, McKinley was kind of in a good situation there in the spring. Did anything change with how Caton worked, or anything you saw from him to maybe take that spot?
I think when we're always judging things, we're always judging players. That's what coaches do. I think that Caton's had a fantastic camp, and it proved in the pudding. Now all those guys are going to play. You can't play with 2 defensive linemen. You can't play with 4 defensive linemen based off of what's going on in college football. They'll both play. But right now, I think he's earned the start.
Last 2 questions, Mario and Connor.
Coach, stepping away from the football aspect of things, I know Texas holds a special place in your heart. It's been tough over the last few days to see what's been going on down there.
Houston is where my mom and dad both went to high school in Houston. My dad's buried in Houston. There's more Babers in the city of Houston than anywhere, and I've been in contact with them. It's interesting because so many times you hear about those hurricanes rolling through there, and it's supposed to be really bad, and then everybody moves out and go different places, and it's really not that bad. And this has just been a situation where the weather people had it nailed, and so far all my people that I've been able to get in contact with is okay. But my heart goes out to those people, and hopefully the rest of the country rallies like we always do to make it easy on them and get the city of Houston back on its feet, because that's a lot of water, and I've spent a lot of summers down there as a kid, and there's nowhere for that water to go. So hopefully my prayers are out to them. Hopefully they'll be okay.
Final question for Connor.
Obviously Davon Nelson was a big contributor last year, but he's been rehabbing an injury. And where do you see him fitting into the defensive back scheme this year? He's obviously not in the 2 deep right now.
No, I mentioned it before. I think that was one of the biggest improvements on our football team, is that we had an influx of new blood at that position, and the competition has been fierce. And you're going to have to compete. I love the way 19 plays. He's one of my favorite guys. But there's been some new cats back there, and I think that Coach Monroe's doing a fantastic job with them. Coach Ward's been really stretching those positions to do more, and he needs to find some room, some wiggle room in there to get on the playing field and contribute in special teams until he can play more in the secondary.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.